Okay, so good morning everyone. My name is Daniel Rogányi. Let me welcome you to our today's SAM Pro Club webinar session. I'm a consultancy lead and senior IBM licensing expert at IPR-Insights, and in our today's SAM Pro Club webinar we are going to talk about the licensing aspects of IBM Cloud Paks. But before we start, I would like to ask you some technical information and tell you some technical information and ask whether you can hear me well. So am I audible, and can you see the slides which are presented currently? So
Yes, it's okay.
Thank you for the confirmation. So I would like to inform you that we are recording the presentation so that we can make it available online. I hope nobody has any objection against that. As I told you, we are talking about some licensing aspect today, but I would like to ask questions or share your thoughts or experience, but if possible at the end of the presentation, so that we can keep our schedule today. This webinar is part of a SAM Pro Club event series. Usually we are organizing these events as part of our SAM Pro Club business breakfasts, but this time in the pandemic period we were able to organize the sessions online, and I really enjoy that we can meet you via these channels as well, but I hope that we can turn back to our SAM Pro Club business breakfast and meet you in person as well. Business users have long been subject to the licensing dictates of software vendors, and this gave us the idea to form a vendor-independent software license consulting company, IPR-Insights Hungary, that would stand on the side of the user, so on the customers of the big vendors, and to ensure equal negotiating conditions between the two parties. Because we believe, and it is our passion, that users deserve transparent licensing terms and conditions, and they also deserve the optimal application of these licensing conditions. So based on that idea, we believe at IPR-Insights that we can act as we usually say the Robin Hood of software asset management, and that's why we developed solutions which can ensure to create value together with our customers and to reduce both licensing costs and licensing risks. So our aim is not only to achieve 100% in licensing compliance, but also the optimized license usage of our customers. Our webinar today addresses the licensing aspects of IBM Cloud Paks. First of all, let's look what are meant by these Cloud Paks. IBM Cloud Paks are IBM software packages, or we can say license bundles, which components can be deployed and run in on-premise environments, in cloud or hybrid environments too. Cloud Paks are powerful tools for licensing containerized cloud environments because they include specific Red Hat OpenShift platform and other Red Hat products which make available to run these bundled components in a containerized cloud environment. However, I would also like to emphasize that Cloud Paks also allow the use of software they contain and are suitable for use these components in on-premise environments. So the purpose of today's presentation is not primarily to highlight the advantages of a cloud transition. So I think the software vendor do everything to promote the transitions to the cloud, but to look at the benefits of covering current on-premise software usage with Cloud Pak licenses. First of all, let's have a look what makes this topic current. So why this is actual for us. And this is nothing but IBM strategy. So IBM expects large enterprise IT to move to a hybrid public and private cloud environment in a short to medium term, so within 2 or 3 years. We will see whether this will be the case or not, but at least the direction is this, and this is expected by most of the vendors and especially from IBM. And IBM wants to be not only benefit from this transition, but also be a leader of it. So the strategy of the company aims to trigger this transition, and they do a lot of things towards this direction. So the acquisition of Red Hat in 2019 and the elimination of Passport Advantage volume discounts for specific products in 2020 were significant steps on this way. And along this strategy, IBM is offering various software solutions in the form of Cloud Paks in more and more areas. So I believe we will see that the vast majority of IBM software portfolio will be available in some sort of packages, and these packages will be suited for cloud-based usage and for containerized environment usage. So that's the direction. The most common Cloud Paks which are today available in IBM software portfolio. So this is a non-exhaustive list, which is on my slide here. This entire portfolio is developing day by day. So there are new bundles arising continuously, but the most commonly used Cloud Paks are here, which are Cloud Pak for applications. So this is a package for developing existing and new cloud native applications that includes the release of WebSphere application server and its network deployment edition. So these are included in this Cloud Pak, in addition to the cloud specific components, of course. So this is the first one, Cloud Pak for applications. Then I think Cloud Pak for business automation is one of the Cloud Paks which are commonly used in a large enterprise IT infrastructure by banks mostly. So this is a suite for designing, automating, and running business process and content management. The bundle includes Finite Content Manager, IBM Data Gap, Business Automation Workflow. This was formerly known as Business Process Server, and Operation Decision Management, ODM software applications. So these are included in this bundle. Cloud Pak for data. This is an integrated analytics platform that enables collaboration between data and business analysts. From a licensing standpoint, this package is an exception. because it contains only the cloud-specific components, and the customers are required to purchase the business analytics and information management software, which are listed here in the orange field, separately in so-called cartridges, which are standalone licenses and are currently available as add-on licenses to the Cloud Pak. So here in this case, the included DB2 data stage, information server, SPSS, and planning analytics applications are not included in the Cloud Pak. You have to purchase add-on licenses to gain the entire component list and to be able to use them according to the terms and conditions. Cloud Pak for Integration is a full-featured hybrid integration platform with some, or I would say the most commonly used IBM middleware products like App Connect. This was previously known as Integration Bus or WebSphere message broker, API Connect, MQ Advanced, and MQ. So both editions of MQ are included in this. This package is also widely used by large enterprises, so we can face our IBM projects and IBM audits that more and more customers are using this bundle. Cloud Pak for multi-cloud management. This is an open hybrid cloud management platform that enables efficient application management regardless of where it is designed and deployed, as well as the ability to model applications and application dependencies. And last but not least, QRadar products are also widely used by customers. IBM initiated a Cloud Pak for its QRadar products as well. This is called Cloud Pak for Security, a suite of solutions that allows to use our IBM QRadar applications in a cloud environment. So these are the major Cloud Paks in IBM's portfolio. But I would like to pick up two of these because Cloud Pak for business automation and Cloud Pak for integration. So these two are the most widely used bundles, and I think these packages need special attention because of licensing specifics. Both are licensed with VPC license metric. This means the virtual processor core. In addition to the cloud-specific components, as I said, Cloud Pak for Business Automation includes Finite Content Manager, Content Collector, Data Cap, Business Automation Workflow, and the ODM Manager, while Cloud Pak for Integration is a suite for IBM middleware products. Of course, both packages include all the supporting programs, which are included in the standalone on-premise licenses as well. So, for example, Cloud Pak for Business Automation includes WebSphere application server, which is part of business automation workflow. So if you acquire BAW license as a standalone license, your license will be available, applicable for covering the WebSphere application server used with the business automation workflow software. So these are called in the standalone licenses as supporting programs. Of course, these supporting programs components are included in the Cloud Paks too. As I said, both packages are licensed with a VPC metric. That means virtual processor core. To put it simple, the license requirement is generally determined by the number of virtual cores assigned to the virtual machine running the product. or if this is going to be run in a non-virtualized environment, so in a traditional environment, which is usually not the case, then this metric shall be applied to the physical processor core. So the name contains the expression virtual, but if this is going to be run on a non-virtualized physical server, then we have to count one in general, one VPC license for one physical processor core. Why this is a general rule? Because usually if we determine the license requirement of Cloud Paks, we have to use some entitlement ratios. So one VPC unit does not always mean one virtual processor core usage. So if you if we twist this, a virtual processor core cannot always be covered by one VPC license. Why? Because the license requirement must always be determined on the basis of the ratio specified in the license agreement, depending on which product, which Cloud Pak, which product from a specific Cloud Pak is used. So the license agreement always determines the ratios. Every product within a Cloud Pak has a ratio, a conversion ratio assigned to it. And based on this, we have to count the VPCs for the usage of that specific product. So if we compare the VPC-based licensing with PVU licensing, so PVU stands for Processor Value Unit. We don't need to be a great mathematician to compare these two models. The difference is that there's no need for factoring the processor cores in case of VPC-based licensing, while if we use the PVU metric, then we have to count 70, 100, or 120 PVUs for a single processor core, depending on the number of sockets of the server. In case of VPC-based licensing, we just have to count the number of cores and allocate the VPC licenses according to the ratio defined in the license agreement. So if we are going on a per VPC metric, if we can we can use the ratio 1:1, then it's easy to see that over 71 PVUs, it is better to choose the VPC licensing model than the traditional PVU-based licensing. This applies not only for Cloud Paks, but for all VPC-based licenses, for example, DB2 standard, for example. So if you acquire a standalone DB2 standard license from the current version 11.5, you can have it on a VPC metric, so you can forget the PVU licenses for the newer versions of DB2, and this applies for those licenses as well, not only for Cloud Paks. Another licensing specific and benefit of Cloud Paks is, for example, in the case of Cloud Pak for integration, Cloud Pak for integration contains IBM MQ as non-production alternative too. So while as a standalone license, there's no MQ for non-production servers, no specific license of MQ for non-production servers available. But in Cloud Pak for integration, IBM makes a distinction between MQ for production servers and non-production servers. As I mentioned earlier, the license requirement must always be determined on the basis of the ratio under which is included in the license information document. And according to this, one VPC license is sufficient to cover 4 vCPUs in a production environment in case of MQ, and 8 vCPUs in a non-production environment. So you can see that if we have an environment with a total of 3 servers, 1 production servers with 8 processor cores assigned to it, and 2 non-production servers, a test server and a development server, 3 processor cores assigned to each. Then the MQ licensing license requirement is 2 VPC licenses for the production server, and altogether 1 VPC for the non-production servers, because based on the ratio, we can count only half VPC for the non-production servers each. So at the end, it makes 3 VPC licenses in total. But if we go with PVU licenses, there's no distinction between the production and non-production servers. So we have to count the same amount of licenses for the cores assigned to the development and test servers, like for the production servers. So this is also a major difference compared to the standalone licenses, and could be a licensing benefits for the customers too. In connection with Cloud Pak for business automation, we can also find a good example how it is worth covering our current deployment, our products running on-prem with Cloud Pak licenses. This bundle includes Finite Content Manager, which is usually licensed with an authorized user value unit metric. That means that the license requirements, if we acquire this product as a standalone license, the license requirement is usually determined by the number of internal and external users, and calculated based on a multi-tier table included in the license agreement. But if we require these, if we purchase these product as part of a Cloud Pak, then we will have the ability to choose from 4 different licensing alternatives. So it's worth looking at which licensing method is the best for your environment, whether you might want to choose server capacity based licensing based on the number of users, or whether the design allows for a concurrent user based licensing alternative. What are the major risks when acquiring Cloud Pak licenses? It may sound boring, but the fact is that 80% of IBM's audit risk is still arising from the inappropriate use of the required IBM SAM tools and audit tools. In the vast majority of the cases, this is the IBM license metric tool. Although IBM does not require the mandatory use of ILMT for VPC-based products, please be aware that this does not exempt from the obligation to create license usage reports regularly. ILMT 9.2.19 and later versions already support automatic reporting of Cloud Paks. So the current version of ILMT is 9.2.27. So the last 9 versions of ILMT are eligible for reporting VPC-based products, and are eligible for calculating the usage of the bundles. In this case, the components of the bundle shall be assigned to the specific Cloud Pak, and at the end we can have an automated Cloud Pak report in our ILMT2. So it is worth using ILMT
also for Cloud Pak licenses. With it, we can ensure an automated control of our license Cloud Pak licenses used in an on-premise environment. But we also have to be aware that if we are using our Cloud Paks in a cloud-based environment, so in a containerized environment, then we have to use. So if we want to benefit from the container licensing terms and conditions, and license the containerized capacity of our environment and not the physical capacity, then it is mandatory to use IBM License Service solution, which we can do according to the similar reporting rules which apply for ILMT. So this is also a mandatory tool for containerized environment. In these environments, it is not possible to use ILMT. And another product, which is not mandatory but optional, and this is part of IBM Multi-Cloud Management, is IBM License Advisor, which is a tool that can combine the data and the reporting of license service and IBM license metric tool. So fortunately, we have tools which are eligible to be able to control our environment and track license usage. And they are not only a good opportunity for us to do a proper IBM software asset management practice, but also mandatory if we would like to benefit from subcapacity licensing or containerized capacity licensing. This worth considering if we decide to acquire new licenses, to ask for a Cloud Pak proposal too. So as you could see, there are different licensing alternatives and also a lot of benefits that Cloud Pak can provide us also for covering our on-premise license consumption. There are specific trade-up licenses available by IBM that makes possible to upgrade existing PVU-based licenses to Cloud Pak licenses. So these so-called trade-ups are cheaper than purchasing new standalone licensing. Of course, if you decide to acquire these, this is always depending on the long-term strategy of the company, whether transition to the cloud is really an alternative for your company, and this must be calculated with a 5 to 7 years TCO scenario. So it is worth analyzing the alternative licensing methods in case of finite server, for example, finite server capacity-based licensing instead of authorized user, etc. And it also worth considering to use the required and appropriate SEM tool also for reporting Cloud Pak license usage. So this is a key point in IBM software asset management always. So these are the major information I wanted to share with you. And I would also like to show you our training schedule, which is planned for this term of our License Academy training series for 2022 spring term. In our course calendar, there will be 3 License Academy sessions coming. We will have our 2 days Microsoft License Academy. Then the series continues with SAP and Oracle. What was the idea behind these trainings? So earlier, software licensing professionals could only own their skills at their own expense. But IPR License Academy offers our clients a practical survival kit on licensing and software asset management challenges. The curricula of the training courses delivered by our experienced consultants incorporate real-life project case studies. Participants receive the slides of the lectures and can take an exam, providing certified professional qualification, which they can even share as an e-badge on their social media profiles. So thank you for the attention for today, and I recommend you to participate in our training sessions and webinars, and search for licensing advisory in case of any questions or licensing projects or software audits.
So we are at the end of our webinar. I would like to ask you to highlight your questions if there are any. So I'm really open to answer your questions. Okay, so if there are no questions, then thank you once again for your attention, and see you in our next session. Have a nice day. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.